There have been 46 different presidents throughout the history of the United States. All with different histories and different things that made them unique. George Washington was the first out of all of them. Hello, welcome back to Fleekerz. This is Fact Friday and this week's episode is 10 facts about George Washington that I bet you didn't know. Number 1. The first president definitely did not respect bros before hoes. George Washington's first crush was actually his best friend's wife. Weeks before Washington's wedding he wrote a letter that said, "The world has no business knowing the object of my love, declared in this manner to you when I want to conceal it." This letter was not meant for his fiancée at the time, Martha Custis. It was actually meant for Sally Fairfax, the wife of Washington's close friend, George Fairfax. When Washington was a teenager, Sally and him were good friends. She was sort of a mentor for him. She taught him how to be a mature gentleman, how to behave around wealthy and powerful people, and even how to dance. Number 2. He was really into animals. Along with being America's first president, Washington was also America's first mule breeder. He is in fact credited for being a huge part of creating the mule stock that powered American agriculture in the South for generations. He also bred many birds, and kept many canine breeds at Mount Vernon, including Dalmatians, English foxhounds, French hounds, greyhounds, Italian greyhounds, mastiffs, Newfoundlands, pointers, spaniels and terriers. He was a dog lover for sure. Number 3. Tough man to kill. Throughout his life, Washington survived several life-threatening situations including diphtheria, tuberculosis, smallpox, malaria, dysentery, quinsy, carbuncle and pneumonia. He also survived nearly drowning in an ice-clogged river, the burning and massacre of Fort Necessity, and 2 horses being shot out from under him, and 4 bullets almost hitting him. It was ironic that the one thing that did kill him was indeed a cold. Number 4. He didn't even run for president, he was actually a volunteer. Yes, in fact Washington was the only president to unanimously receive all electoral votes, and he didn't even run for president, he actually was drafted by popular demand. He even refused to accept a salary as president and even spent some of his own money to pay the salaries of his office members. Number 5. He was a huge part of developing the plan for Washington, D.C. and the White House, but he never actually lived in the huge, white, presidential mansion. He lived in New York and Philly, which were capital cities at the time. Number 6. His teeth were not wooden. Everyone knows the myth that George Washington had wooden dentures. What if I told you? Research on a set of Washington's dentures in 2005 said otherwise. It was discovered that they were actually made of gold, ivory, lead, and actually human teeth. Number 7. He was the only president to go into battle while serving his term. On September 19, 1794, Washington led troops in the field on a month-long march west over the Allegheny Mountains to the town of Bedford. Number 8. He owned a whiskey distillery. In 1798, he installed it at Mount Vernon. It was very profitable for him. It distilled 12,000 gallons a year. Number 9. He had only one original tooth by the time of his inauguration. Washington started losing his teeth when he was in his 20s. He lost them at a rate of 1 tooth a year. He suffered from many toothaches, even though he had pretty good dental hygiene compared to other people at the time. By his inauguration in 1789, he wore a set of clacking creaky dentures. Number 10. Washington had only a grade school education. George Washington's formal schooling ended when he was just 11 years old. After the death of his father, his mother never remarried, so he had a lot of helping to do as the oldest of 6 kids. His mom taught him how to run a tobacco farm, and at the age of 16 he took his first job as a land surveyor. And that is 10 facts about George Washington that I bet you didn't know. Please subscribe, like the video, and turn on post notifications if you haven't already. Thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.